Good evening, everybody. I'm seeing I've had this one person so far. Welcome. Buenas tardes, Jalen. Hola chicos, mira, ya regreso mientras estamos esperando a las otras personas, ¿ok? So I'll be back very soon. Give me 1 minute while we're waiting on other persons to join. So you all share the word in the meantime, tell your friends, etc. Oh, knock. So I want us to begin by 1:15 our latest, as we give persons the chance to join. I'm seeing we have persons filing into the Zoom now. Hi, Chelsea.
Hi.
This is Chelsea John.
Yeah,
Hey, what's going on?
I good. No wake up.
Of course. Chelsea, by the way, we're recording, we're streaming on YouTube as well, right? So you'll be heard over there as well, just letting you know.
Alright.
I don't know if you don't want people to hear your voice or. All right, we have anybody else new on YouTube? Feel free to say hi, hola, buenas tardes, etc. Buenas tardes a todos. Tashana, Thomas, welcome guys. Hi Tashana, hi Thomas, how are you all? Buenas tardes. Hola Joshel, hola Rakaya. ¿Qué tal? Hope everybody is good today. Nice, nice. And I'll see the message there, Thomas. As I said, we want to begin by quarter past latest. So I'm just giving persons the opportunity to arrive. All right, guys, let us begin. Just now. All right, guys, so we continuing from yesterday, basically. That is the plan for today, right? And let us go. Any questions or anything before we begin? Thomas, Tashana, Kylie, Joshel, etc. Y'all feel free to send a message. Entonces, okay. Let me share my screen. Welcome, Destiny. Welcome, Tamia. Tamia, the advice I gave worked, right? Or I did something else? Tamia, are you hearing me? Okay, okay. But camera shy, I see. Okay. All right, guys. Vamos a comenzar entonces. Nice. So, I am hoping that everybody that is here would have looked at the masterclass that was uploaded on YouTube someday last week, Friday or somewhere thereabouts, I believe, because it will explain all these things as well that I'm explaining now, or like the little tips and the little things you need to keep in mind when we're talking about the contextual. Real quick recap of that though. I always say to the persons with the contextual dialogue, ensure, make sure that you're really tiredness, guys. Make sure, ensure that you are always reading the instructions before and read through the whole thing before starting to answer for one specific part. Yeah, those are some of the key things that you need to remember. Yeah. So let's read. First and foremost, pay attention to the instructions in the blank spaces. Complete the dialogue between your brother, Paulo, and father. Give responses in Spanish, 80 to 100 words. Of course, that is counting your words alone, right? So your brother, Paulo, needs to apply to a university to continue his studies, and you need to write the conversation between your brother and your father, given the brother's responses alone, right? Responses to the cues given. They want to find out about a discussion of what the brother wants to study and why. choice of university, where he will stay at university, what he will need, and a promise to do his application right away. Right? So those are the things that need to be included. But before we begin, just as I said with you all, let us read through the whole thing. So, bueno, hijo, ¿has decidido que quieres estudiar cuando vayas a la universidad? So, son, or well, son, have you decided what you want to study when you go to university? All right. Es una buena materia, especialmente si quieres entrar en este campo. So it is a good subject, especially if it is you want to enter into that field. We're getting some hints already of where the conversation is going. No es gran problema, hijo. Debes elegir la universidad que tenga el mejor programa para ti. That's not a big problem. You must choose the university that has the best program for you. The dad then says, entonces ya tienes la respuesta. So, you already have your response. Si esta universidad ofrece lo que quieres y facilita tu entrada en la profesión que deseas, debes escogerla. If this university offers what you want and it facilitates your entry in the profession that you desire, you must choose it. Excelente, hijo. Hazlo pronto porque seguro de que esta universidad es popular y tiene espacios limitados para lo que quieres estudiar. Excellent, son. Do it quickly because it is certain, I am sure that this university is popular and the spaces, and it has limited spaces, for what you want to study. Dad goes on to say, don't worry, son, no te preocupes, hijo. Esta universidad tiene residencias, that should have been residencias, I believe, para estudiantes, para los estudiantes, o puedes quedarte con tu tía Carla. I wonder if something repeated there. Let me read it over. Don't worry, son, this university has residences for students. For the students, or you can stay with your Aunt Carla. Okay. Good. Si te sientes más cómodo con esta decisión, te voy a apoyar. Good. If you feel more comfortable, apoyar para la universidad, and then hello, guys, it seems as if I had a drop in the internet there. I apologize. I'm now seeing persons in the chat, the YouTube chat, saying they were getting a bit of a lag as well. That's the reason why. So let me just make sure that we are all back and we're all here and you're all hearing me. Everybody is hearing me. Well, what about in the Zoom chat? Let me know if it is you all hearing me in the YouTube, sorry. Let me know if it is you all hearing me again. What about now, Joanne? Nice. So let us continue. All right. So the dad says, entonces podemos comprar todo esto. Let me make sure I didn't leave out anything. 1 second. Right. He says, I'm going to go back from the last one in case anybody missed that. Bueno, si te sientes más cómodo con esta decisión, te voy a apoyar. ¿Qué vas a necesitar para la universidad? So, okay, well, if you feel more comfortable with this decision, I am going to support you. What are you going to need for university? And then he says, so entonces, we can buy all of this, but first, you need to be accepted in the program. Entonces, podemos comprar todo esto, pero primero necesitas ser aceptado en el programa. Paulo responds, and we finally see here where that ends by saying, buena idea, si lo envías demasiado tarde, no vas a ser aceptado. Good idea. If you send it too late, you won't be accepted. Nice. So once again, I am just here as a guide. You all are the ones that are actually coming up with it. So we need to be collaborative in this, right? So just like I would have said in the master class, go and check out that video as well when you get a chance. Just as I would have said in the master class video that was posted Friday thereabout. In order to get what we need to include in each line, it is wise to look at the line before and after. What is said before and what is said after. 1 second, guys. Yes, it's good to look at what was said before and after. So, as decidido, ¿qué quieres estudiar cuando vayas a la universidad? So the response that we put in this line has to be a response that Paulo gave to this question, and if he has decided on what he wants to study. And it also needs to say not only what the course of study is, but what field or profession he wants to go in, because the dad comes after, and based on what he said before, he said it's Hello. You all hearing me now, guys? I'm so sorry. I don't know why the internet is acting up so much today. I'm not in a place where many persons are using the internet. As a matter of fact, I am probably the only person using the internet. I am. But yeah. So we're back on Zoom. Everybody on Zoom is seeing me. What about my YouTube people? You all seeing me? Nice. So the last thing I was saying is that I was asking for volunteers. I want you to suggest responses to go in these spaces. And I was explaining to persons as well, or explain to you, whatever is discussion of what we look at the line that comes before and the line that comes. Can't think of it ever not happening, but we'll automatically be responding to these as well. Yeah, we'll automatically be responding to what it is, the cues they say we must include. So for example, we see here where he says, good son. Welcome, Selena. Is this Selena from my classes, Form 5 classes, or another Selena? Okay. Guys, as I say, so let me get some responses. We give it responding to have you decided stated for suggestions in the chat? Shana, are you hearing me loud and clear? Am I sticking? Am I lagging or anything of the sorts? Tashana?
So you're lagging a little bit, so it's not clear to hear you.
I don't know what's going on with the internet today, guys. I just okay. Thank you, Joe. At any YouTube. I'm now seeing your response. Shanisha Pascal is asking for the code for Zoom. You can go on quintessential language learning on Everybody's hearing me again now? I just want to say thank you for your thank you for your patience with me with the technology. Shanisha, I'm gonna send I just sent the thing there for the Zoom, so you could join via that. Somebody asked if we could do specifically the topics for exam. Yes, we can. Yesterday we did a letter. We didn't do this letter. We did a letter from a 2021 paper. Past experience, sharing information about our past experience. As I would have said to you all, how do we go about navigating the past tense in Spanish? That was the main question that would have, you're welcome, Shanisha. That's the main question that would have arisen from that. Right, so you would have seen this, the topics that come in, sharing information about with a friend about a past experience and a forgotten item. And we spoke about, or we were speaking about the past tense. I've taken a pause from what I was doing before. I find every time I bring up that, it wasn't letting me be great. So let us change up the course of what we're doing instead, right? So the letter writing, we had the sample letter that we did yesterday. Considerations for the letter. Now, they said specifically that the topic that is coming is basically speaking about a past experience, a forgotten item, right? So how to use past tense in Spanish. We know that the preterite tense is used for past completed actions. How can we tell the action is past and completed? And we know this by the use of a word or phrase in our sentence or in the sentence, like if it's something, in this case it's for our sentence, right? Because we created the letter. So we know that we will use the preterite tense by the use of a word or a phrase in our sentence that shows a complete period of time. So for example, ayer, which means yesterday. What other time phrases that we could think of? What else hints to us, hey, this is a period of time in the past? Other than ayer, what we have? Anoche, excellent. And anoche means what again? Thomas? Actually, I'm telling you, right? Last night. Anybody else? Feel free to message YouTube or Zoom chat. Ayer, anoche, ¿qué más? Expresiones del pasado. La semana pasada, last week. El mes pasado, last month. What else? El año pasado, last year. Anything else we could think of? Another way, it might not be last this, last that. For example, you may have por 2 meses, por una semana, etc. All these things shows a period of time that automatically has a beginning and an end. Yeah? So it's by using phrases like these, that is how we know, hey, the preterite tense is triggered here. I have to use the preterite tense in this instance. Yeah? So that's how we know when to use the preterite tense, right? There are also some instances where the preterite is understood or implied. For example, an action that cannot go on continuously in the past. Welcome to all the new persons that are joining. And some examples of these, hi Shalisha. Some examples of these will be, for example, sorry. I opened the door. Abrí la puerta. Or I closed the door, etc. And if it is a think of it, these actions, the action of opening a door, it's not something that is continuous in the past. It doesn't take 2 weeks, a week, months. It doesn't take hours to open a door, right? It's not a case of that. So certain actions, by virtue of the action itself, it happens as a one-time something. Yeah, that will be understood as using it, or implied or understood as using the preterite automatically for those, right? I saw him when it happened. Another thing, very important. Let me do this first. Imperfect tense. When to use the imperfect? When speaking about the weather, describing places or people, setting of a place, for example. Like let me say you're talking about an accident in the road and you're describing what happened. The road was wet, the floor, the road was slippery, etc. It was raining. Once we're given a description of things in the past, we automatically going to use the imperfect tense. Yeah? Or things. So we use the imperfect when speaking about the weather, describing places, people, setting, or things, etc. Or things that used to happen in the past. In English, we use that phrase used to. In Spanish, there isn't an equivalent phrase for used to. There isn't something, a word or a phrase that is equivalent to that in the past. Afternoon, Amari, right? When we want to give the impression of used to in Spanish, we use the imperfect tense. So the imperfect tense automatically means something that's used to, was continually happening, that kind of thing, yeah? So be aware of that. So that is when we use the preterite tense, that is when we use the imperfect tense. What about when we mix the use of the two? There are instances when we may have to use the two of them in the same sentence, for example. And there's a general rule or a general something that we see regarding the use of the imperfect and preterite together in a sentence. So when one action was happening and another action interrupted the previous action, we use this formula. Action in progress, in the past, of course, will take the imperfect tense. Interrupting action, that will take the preterite tense. Welcome to everybody that's joining. Right? So for example, I was reading when you called me. So we have two actions here. Reading, you called. The action that is in the process of happening was reading. And the action that interrupts was the call. So that becomes estaba leyendo cuando me llamaste. So the action in progress and the interrupting action, right? We understand that so far, everybody? Everybody is fine with that? I haven't lost anybody. I'm looking out in the chat. I'm looking out in the chat so far. Hi, Mr. Goat. I'm seeing that you just got in, yes. So we're taking a pit stop. Everybody is following with that, right? Yes, I already put things in place. I would post a Padlet so that you all can get access to the notes when we finish, okay? All the notes you're hearing about here. Any other questions? I know definitely persons will be looking over these videos and stuff tonight, so I don't want to give it too late, right? We want to finish by 7 p.m. Same here, I'm compiling the notes from yesterday into one file, guys. So, all right, let's continue, right? So that last thing that I was sharing with you all regarding the preterite and the imperfect was for the letter that you have to write tomorrow. Right, olvidar and olvidarse, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check my handy dictionary. I believe the two of them can be used synonymously. So watch this, right? Olvidar, to forget. Feel free to ask questions as well, guys. So unmute your mic and ask questions. Olvidar is to forget. Let us see olvidar say. Same thing, to forget, right? So they can be used synonymously based on what we've seen here. I don't know if you're all seeing that as well, but. Listen, there's a whole chat. What kind of talk is that way, Matthew, boy? Yeah, Matthew, I'm doing this stuff that actually coming based on TXC's list of topics. So let me share my screen and select this one window. So as you see here, for the letter, they say that how sharing information with a friend about a past experience and a forgotten item. Obviously, we can't guess every single thing. Or me speaking about how you go about using the past tense is to help you all, to just remind you all, this is how you use the past tense in Spanish. Not everything is preterite tense. Preterite tense when the action is completed, and we know the action is completed because we know the action is completed because we have trigger words to show it's completed, right? Tashana, I can't after this, right? I already forget you, being honest. In the midst of everything, right? So let us move on now to contextual dialogue, information, conversation between yourself and a well-known person about his career. So I imagine that since this is a conversation between you yourself, you're writing as yourself and somebody that is famous, what you think is the format of the guided conversation? I'm gonna ask you all that. What do you think the format will be? Excellent, formal. So you make sure and use the usted version of the verb, right? What else? The fact that it's a conversation between you and a famous person, somebody you don't know, it will be formal, but what else you think it may be? Another word for that conversation will be a what? I'm looking for answers. You all tell me what you think. I think it may be an interview. I think more than likely it will be an interview, right? What say you all? So contextual dialogue. The guy that calling himself Mr. Goat, why you say for, why the long right? So if it's an interview, more than likely, or a conversation, and this conversation is between you and that person about a career, what type of questions you think you may find yourself having to ask that person? Take a guess. Let me hear some of the responses. Excellent, Kira. Keep the questions coming. Now, the person named Mr. Goat in the Zoom chat. We can't pre-write an entire thing, I would say, because we definitely don't know what it is, right? So I don't want to limit us to say, hey, we're going all the way down focusing on this, and something totally different comes. And now you're left in a place where I don't know how to deal with this because senior weeks never teach us it like that on YouTube, or I didn't think it would come, etc. Nice. So what we will do instead is try and guess from a broad perspective, right? So that as best as possible, we're able for everything. So here's what we're going to do, right? You see all those persons are writing those wonderful English things in the chat, right? Both in the Zoom and YouTube chat. I want you to try and write it in Spanish as well for me, please. And let's correct it. So let me start. I am seeing somebody. The first question I'm seeing is, why did you choose this career? So Kira, how would you go about saying that in Spanish? Kira, how would you go about asking the person, why did you choose that career? I'm seeing excellent questions, right? When did your career start? Who inspired your career choice? From Gracie and Grant. Excellent in the YouTube chat. So if you know you wrote something, come let us try and put it into Spanish one time. Nice, Thomas. That was a good thing. But there's one problem with it though. So Thomas has, and don't forget, ¿Qué consejos? What advice? And you put Thomas, darás. What is the problem with that, Thomas? You wouldn't say darás, but you would say, ¿Qué consejos usted dará? Right? What was it you said again? What advice would you, ¿Qué consejos usted dará a los jóvenes? I can't remember, I freestyle now. So what advice would you give? Nice. I see somebody put, ¿Te gusta tu carrera? Excellent. But it will be two, it will be su. ¿Te gusta su carrera? Le gusta su carrera, actually. Le gusta su carrera. Porque, and remember, all of these must be based as well on what it is they are saying. Excellent there, Mr. Goat. You know why that crack him up every time? I can't spell in English, but I spell in career wrong. Do you like your career? En su opinión, formal. Su also means there, but it means you when you're trying to be, it means you're when it is you're being formal, right? So en su opinión, ¿Cuáles? Which are the subjects? ¿Cuáles son las asignaturas que debo estudiar, that I must study? Deber, the verb deber means to must do something, right? It's all one of the ways we express obligation. Right, so Kira says, ¿por qué escogiste? Ajá. So Kira, ¿por qué escogió? Because it will be formal. Escogió esta carrera. Understand, Kira? Deber means should, yes. So keep the comments, the thing. Gracian says, ¿cuándo empezaste su carrera? Once again, Gracian. ¿Cuándo? Formal version, empezó su carrera. ¿Cuándo empezó su carrera? When did you begin your career? ¿Cuánto dinero usted gana?
What do I mean? Over and on that's nothing wrong with it.
Lani, we hear in you.
I'm gonna buy two.
¿Cuánto dinero usted gana? Yeah. Now, think about it like this. If it is every time you put usted, when it is you're addressing the person, the verb, we're actually doing two things there. No? On one hand, you're reminding yourself, hey, I need to use the formal version. And on the other hand, you're helping to boost your word count. So I would suggest that every time you're writing a verb, you put usted in front. Cuando usted empezó su carrera? ¿Cuánto dinero usted gana? En tu opinión, ¿cuáles son las asignaturas, en su opinión, sorry, que debo estudiar? That one, not so much, right? ¿O por qué escogió esta carrera? All right, let me just take some of these things in the chat. Thomas asks, so where there's two vowels, the accent goes on the second. Not sure if I'm seeing correctly. This is a mistake here. You know, I've never stopped and considered that, Thomas, but it seems weird. So, right, te gusta, le gusta su carrera, no te gusta, cuánto dinero, por qué escogió esta profesión, en tu opinión, cuáles son las asignaturas que necesito, qué consejos le darías a las personas que quisieran elegir el mismo campo profesional como usted. That's excellent, Aisha. I'm praying to God that that is not Google Translate or word reference. Excellent. Not word reference, Spanish dict thing. ¿Qué consejo le daría, would you give a las personas que quisieran elegir el mismo campo profesional como usted? Right? What advice would you give to persons that wish to choose the same field, professional field, sorry, as you. Nice, so that was good. Let's see what else we have here. Nice. Sina, excellent question here. Is being famous stressful? Somebody respond and say, yeah. Okay, ¿quién inspiró? Su carrera? Who inspired? Your career? I keep thinking in Spanish, I write this word in carrera. ¿Es su carrera agradable? Agradable. Estresante. Is it nice or pleasant? Is it stressful? Is it, how do we say rewarding in Spanish? No, this is not January 2022 we're doing. We are doing, we are going based on the suggested topics that Csec gave. Yeah? Es estresante, es agradable, es, see what I'm looking for in English again. Okay, I'm not sure how to say rewarding in Spanish. All right, so let us say, so Senior Week's not sure what the word rewarding is, right? But we need exam and we want to say rewarding. So you want to ask them, is your career rewarding? But you're bent, you make up your mind, I want to use this word. Shireen, I'll address your question just now, right? We bent on using that to ask if it's rewarding. Not quite if you have gifts, but how could we go about expressing that? Anybody have any ideas? I like that, Mr. Goat. You can use worth it. So, es su carrera agradable, estresante, etc. Or you can ask, to be worth it is valer la pena. So let me, okay, let me add this exigente. So you could ask, is su carrera exigente? Is your career stressful? I mean, demanding. Nice. You could ask, ¿piensa usted que su carrera vale la pena? So vale la pena or merece la pena are two words that we can use or phrases that we can use to mean, is it worth it? Is it worth the, is it worth it basically? ¿Piensa usted que su carrera vale la pena? Do you think Your career is worth it. Like if it's worth the effort, etc. Que usted inspiró que estricto, ES, right? You'll never find in Spanish the letter F, the letter S followed by another consonant, but not having a vowel before it. That's a bit difficult to grasp. In Spanish, you'll never see S followed by another consonant, but not having a vowel before it. So for example, especial, SP, but you must have a vowel before it, especial. Escandaloso. Aspecto, ASPECTO. And I don't know if you'll ever notice, but if you hear Spanish, a native Spanish speaker that speaks English, they still do it. It's very special and that sort of stuff you'll hear them say, yeah? And that is because the brain have been trained in that way, yeah? Nice. What motivates you, etc.? Yes, cults. These not questions that will come in the dialogue, cults. But cults, let me show you, right? In the contextual dialogue, they say that the topic is a conversation between yourself and a well-known person. Now, I don't know if you're right, late. We spoke about this before. They say the topic is a conversation about yourself and a well-known person about his or her career. So what we're trying to do is figure out what CXC might bring. So we say because it's a conversation between you and somebody well-known, more than likely older than you, automatically the first thing that we need to do is use the formal version. The formal version when speaking with the person. So we'd always use the usted version of the verb when speaking with them. Right? That's one. Secondly, we said more than likely because it's a conversation, it will be an interview. Right? And thirdly, we went ahead to try and figure out what are some of the possible questions that could come up in this dialogue, or what are some of the possible things that could come up in the conversation with this person. So Shireen Morris, I didn't forget you. You say, can you give clues to know which question goes before or even after? I cannot. If it is you're talking about any dialogue, I don't have a clue. Right? You never know. Suppose in this conversation is this person telling you things and not you asking them questions about themselves. You understand? We don't know, but the idea is we're trying to exhaust what are the possible things that may come up out of this, right? So that is what it's about. And yes, it could be an interview too. So for the reading comprehension, they say you'll be answering questions in English based on our reading learning to defend yourself. So let us look at some of the words and phrases in defending yourself as well, right? So finally, we have the reading comprehension. So once again, guys, I need to encourage you all. A lot of the things that I am starting off talking in these sections about, I already gave a lesson on it. Yeah? If you go on Quintessential Language Learning on YouTube, you will see. No, I haven't seen anything. I can't say I've seen anything like this, to be honest. But it will help to go over the past papers on them. What I was going to say is that after class, guys, I don't know if you're on, as a matter of fact, let me see if I can do this now. Let me see if I can share this document now with everybody in the Zoom and the YouTube chat. Freebies, freebies, freebies. You're getting lots of freebies here. All I ask of you is that you share the information with your other classmates that are studying this year. And if you know somebody that's doing Spanish right now, they're in Form 4, is an adult, they're interested in learning Spanish, by all means, you can share the document with them as well. Right? That is all I ask. In return, that you'll spread the word. Go like, go subscribe on YouTube to Quintessential Language Learning. Go like the page, etc. Right? On Instagram, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, you could do that as well. So in paper 2 for year 2010, I have dialogue as an interview similar to the topic. Thank you so much, Sam Psycho. What a name. Check in the chat, guys. Check in the chat, check in the chat. All right, so now I'm going to show you all this. The link that I sent, the Padlet, this was from our masterclass this year. You would see, bienvenidos a todos. I gave you a little welcome. Well, disregard these things, right? They're no longer valid. The class link that was there, the link for the YouTube channel. Go follow us, go subscribe on YouTube. Additional links here. Well, we need some access for that, right? And the recordings from the masterclass is some additional links here as well. So look, you have paper 2s, up to 2020, paper 1s, past papers, everything you get in here, guys. Everything, everything. Yeah? Reading passage, the mark scheme and stuff. Well, these things pass for your oral exam. Nice. So past papers, we have past papers, we have everything here. Yeah? All the notes, all the PowerPoints, everything. No sleep tonight. Well, make sure and get some rest, please. All right, make sure and get some rest tonight as well. Nice, so where were we? Let's go back to where we were. Welcome everybody that joined after. Sean Palmer, Mr. Palmer, welcome back. Sean, where are you joining us from? Jamaica? Yeah, Bayou in the morning and in Spanish in the afternoon. Jamaica. I was thinking that sounds like a very Jamaican name, but I thought that might have been a bit stereotypical of me. Nice. Yeah, no problem. Of course, I know it's quite popular there. If you're a fan of dancehall, you must know the surname Palmer. IYKYK. Yeah. There's a whole conversation going on in that chapter. All right, let's go back to the reading comprehension. So I'm just going to review orally some tips that I gave. We now share the Padlets with all the notes and stuff. So you all could go and reference that as well. Right? Points to note about your reading comprehension. I did a video on that and I gave some problems, suppose. Number one, before you even read the passage, read the questions for the reading passage. Let me repeat. Before you even read the passage, read the questions. Yeah, read the questions before you even read the passage. And the reason why is because if I were to read one of your reading comprehension exercises, it's possible that I will not know every single word that is there. Yes, me, Senor Weeks, a Spanish teacher. That is very much possible. So, by reading the questions first, you already streamline what it is the passage is going to be about. You get an idea of what it's going to be about, right? You give yourself context of what is going to happen. So say, for instance, you meet a word that you don't know, at least you know based on the questions, which are in English, by the way. At least you'll know from the questions, all right, they're going to be speaking about this topic in this passage. These are the people that are involved. This is the scenario that take place. This is the conflict that take place, etc. Right? Understood? Everybody's following so far? Nice. Right? So always read the questions first. You'd almost never know every single thing. Yeah, you'll almost always never know every single thing. Okay? Any other questions we have before we go into it or no? Any questions before we go into it or no? Be careful of the language being used in the chat, please, Mr. Israel. Here's not the forum for that. Kindly retract it. Nice, so let's go. So as they say here, where am I? As they said here, we're going to be speaking about something about learning to defend yourself. Anybody has an idea of how to say defend or the verb to defend or anything like that? No problem. How do we say to defend oneself in Spanish? Defenderse. To defend oneself. What other vocabulary might come up on this topic of defending oneself? Think of it. What other kind of thing may possibly come up? Right, defenderse, but what else? The best form of self-defense, correr, nice. Okay. So we're going to put all those words into Spanish now. Defenderse, to defend oneself. Somebody put as well. Yes, I'll upload the notes as well. From today, pelear, to fight. A synonym for pelear is what? Anybody knows? Luchar, excellent. After class, luchar, what else? Some other things, somebody said proteger, to protect. And to protect oneself, protegerse. It just makes the verb reflexive when you're referring about the answer being done unto yourself, right? To seek help, conseguir ayuda. Somebody had to attack to, atacar. So we have argue as well. To argue, there are two words or phrases you could use to say to argue or complain. Quejarse or discutir. Both means to argue, right? Both mean to argue. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? What about self-defense? How do you say self-defense or martial arts and this sort of stuff, karate? Those are words that may come up as well, don't you think? Anybody knows how to say any of these things? Kaya Crossdale asks, what do we do when we meet up a word that we don't know? What do we do when we meet up? Malia said that reading comprehension is a darling. First time I've heard it described like that. Right? So I see new things coming through. El karate. Autodefensa. Auto is the prefix that means self. Las artes marciales is how we say martial arts. You would have to try to read between the lines, context cues, yes. So to go back, I come into that vocabulary that's not scream. I forget the name. Who asks what would you do? Right, Kaya asks on YouTube, what you do if you don't know the words? Kaya, that's why I explained at the start. Before you even start to read the passage itself, read the questions in English to give yourself context to the passage. And yes, you would use context cues. You may not know every single word, but what was the line before talking about? What was the start of the sentence where I understood up to, etc., talking about? If it's closer to the start of the sentence where you don't understand, what is the end saying? So it is imperative that you read the entire passage. You read the questions first and you read the entire passage, sometimes twice, before you actually start to answer the question, right? You may not know everything, but in certain instances, you may have to infer based on the meaning, right? There was something else somebody else had said, right? Right, so las artes marciales, ¿qué más sobre? There were some other words that some persons had put there in the chat, some English words. El arma. What is el arma? A weapon. You could say una pistola. Nice. Context clues, context cues. Scream, scream. So to scream is gritar. There's another word for scream. I can't remember right now, but anything else you want to include in self-defense? I see somebody say something about army. El ejército. That's how we say army in Spanish. I feel CXC will deliberately bring something unexpected, so I think we should also know the word abogado. Okay. All right, Thomas. El ejército is army. For the sake of Thomas, el abogado, lawyer. Talk about training. Entrenar is to train. And to add to what I said before as well to Kaya, I believe was the person I mentioned in the chat. Yeah. And not only context cues, but we have something what we call cognates or friends, which are words that look the same in two languages. For example, especial looks like the English word special, and it means special as well, right? So look out for words like that and be careful of the words that may look like a cognate, meaning, for example, it looking like another English word, but it means something different. For example, largo, L-A-R-G-O. It looks like large, but it doesn't mean large, right? It actually means long. Yeah? So be careful of those. Of course, it needs to make sense in the context for it to actually be the same thing as the English or a friend, a cognate, right? To surrender. How do we say to surrender? Okay. Surrender is rendirse. I spell that correct in English. Sure, Delicia. No, you cannot use trend. No, it was not the same thing, basically. It's not. Right, rendirse. Somebody was saying something before about 2010 exam. To be afraid. Tener miedo is to be afraid. To bully, yes, that was one of the things I want to say. To bully is acosar. Cyberbullying or bullying is el acoso. Cyberbullying is ciberacoso. Nice. So what about person could be getting robbed, robar? What about it bring about COVID? So we have robar, to rob or steal. Nice. Thomas, thank you for those words, guys. El ladrón. If I'm not mistaken, ladrón has an accent on the O. Or the dialogue in 2010 and 20 against COVID. To be afraid to defend yourself against COVID. Right, so how do we say COVID in Spanish? El COVID or el coronavirus. Nice. Un cuchillo, a knife. Sanitization. How do we say to sanitize in Spanish? Desinfectar, like to disinfect. So that is one of those false friends. Kind of mean the same to sanitize to disinfect, but yeah. Right? So sanitization, defend against, una pandemia. You see, you don't need me, I just here to facilitate, you know? Una pandemia is a pandemic. Nice. Or you all coming up with all the wonderful things. We're brainstorming together, led by you all. Nice. So guys, we don't have much time. The Zoom chat is filled right now. Well, almost full up. Right? I want us to start to come to a close here. I think we have exhausted everything. While I'm doing that, let me organize to send the thing to you all as well. Let me organize to send this document to you all while I am while we come to a close. Any questions in the meantime while I'm organizing this? I'm going to put it on the Padlet. I shared a link for a Padlet, Sashana. And I'm going to put it on the Padlet and you'll have full access to it over there. Yeah. Kadira, all as well? Or Khadidra? Of course. Is the same Padlet, and the Padlet has both Csec and Cape information on it. So it's one Padlet with everything actually, yeah? Of course, it's separated. But the notes, the PowerPoints, etc. that we did, it should be there. Any other questions? There it is. A little faster than me. There it is, Alyssa. Just resend to there, guys. So just click on the link and you'll get access to all those stuff. How do we say to pray? That is an excellent question. We have two questions. How would you say to pray? And would you recommend choosing Spanish for Form 6? There are two words that mean to pray. The more popular one that persons may hear is rezar, right? In school, etc., that's what they usually teach, rezar, to pray. But there's another one, orar. So rezar means to pray more. It is used mainly by Roman Catholics, right? It is used mainly by Roman Catholics. So, but orar is used more in a general sense. Nice. So that's that question. The question on choosing Spanish for Form 6. I would say yes. If it is you're doing classes with Quintessential, the biggest, I'm telling you, the biggest benefit you will get. No, I'm not going to lie at all. I'll be very oraciones prayer. I'll be very frank with you, right? No, I'm being serious because I'm very deliberate in my classes to incorporate native speaker teachers as well. And the native speaker teachers, meaning persons, some Cuban ladies, right? The native speaker teachers is not just somebody that born in a Spanish-speaking country and come in and talk Spanish with you, right? It's actually persons that are trained teachers. They are trained in pedagogy. They are trained in didactics and this sort of stuff, right? So I have a wonderful team with my classes, and we are very deliberate in not just teaching you to be able to pass your exams, but more importantly, teaching you to become bilingual as well, teaching you to speak and to be confident in using the language outside. No, I'm not a Spanish native, Sashana, but teaching you to speak and use it outside of a formal school context. So if it is in the street, if it is your travel, you will be able to use the language. That is what we try and achieve. And I've been very deliberate in hiring persons and bringing persons on the team that can assist in this. No, I'm not a native speaker. I've never lived in a Spanish speaker. I've never lived in a Spanish speaking country. The most I've spent was 5 days and 4 nights in Margarita. I need to travel though. Big up Miss Dorridge, big up all the teachers, man. I did a sample letter yesterday. Alex, you'll get that in the document I'm going to add to the Padlet. Spanish in Form 6 is hard in comparison to Spanish for Csec. That may discourage a lot of persons. I know, but I've been real. It is hard in the first 3 months. And what usually happens is that persons did not expect such a huge jump in what is required of you. They didn't expect, oh my gosh, I would have to be doing literature, Spanish literature. I would have to actually be speaking in class all the time and listening to native speakers with different accents. But the key to doing Spanish in Form 6 is this. It might sound stupid, it might sound cliche, but the key to doing Spanish in Form 6 is not giving up. Because most students during that first 3-month period, they might say to themselves, oh my gosh, this is difficult. And the time you take to pull yourself out of it and let down your guard, you lose the momentum you have been building, because there's learning that is taking place in being exposed to it, right? There's learning that is taking place in being exposed to it all the time and by going through that challenge. And only when you stick with it, by the time February hit, you notice, but wait now, I wasn't understanding that when I was hearing before. But I realize I'm understanding what they say and every word that coming out of their mouth, etc. So in the space of 4 to 6 months, a transformation takes place. And yeah, a transformation takes place, and you realize, wait, now I'm becoming bilingual, etc. But you have to stick with it. Yeah, but it's rewarding. I will say it's rewarding from every perspective. The perspective of being able to speak it, the perspective of being able to speak with native speakers, the perspective of knowing so much things. Yeah. All of that is end up being a great help. Yeah. Any other questions? I'm going to send the link again. No, the notes from yesterday, it's not there. I'm going to post them, send them to you all. I was in the process of doing that actually, right? No problem, Sam is psycho, by all means. Yeah, that was real unbelievable that Garrett Bale lived in Spain for 6 years and insulated himself to not be able to speak the language. That is not an example to follow. Yeah, definitely, Shoshana. And I always say, it's one of the reasons I believe why many persons may be reluctant to learn a second language later on in life. It equalizes you, it brings you right back down. And while you may understand, actually do anything is, you feel like if you're making little progress, or you feel like a child again learning. And that's the thing about it, you definitely just have to stick to it, and it's a skill that you build. No skill happens overnight. We cannot just osmose the thing and chuck a USB in our head and everything that you're speaking. You have to go through the rudiments of practice. Yeah. So that could be frustrating for some people. However, it is extremely rewarding. What do markers look for in the letter? Mastery of language. Kaya, let me show you that real quick before we go, right? For the persons that are here. Let me show you exactly what they look for in the letter. Just give me 1 sec. Let me pull it up on the screen, right? I'll give you the exact mark scheme and stuff for it. I'll show you the exact mark scheme and stuff for it. I'm wondering if I have it here. Wait, oh shucks, I don't have it on this device. Do I? I think I should. Right, look at here. So Kaya Crossdale asks, that is the way you're learning, Sean. Kaya asks, how do they go about marking you for the letter? Let me just show you all this real quick before we leave. This is in the Csec syllabus, by the way. So it's Portuguese, but you're saying Portuguese here, but it's the exact same thing for Spanish, right? So mark scale for the letter, or this is from the Portuguese paper they're included, but it's the same thing for Spanish. I've seen it before, right? So out of 30 to 24 to 30 is considered an excellent mark. 23 to 19 out of 30 is considered good. 18 to 15 out of 30 satisfactory. 14 to 11 moderate, etc., etc. We're not even going to bother to look there because we're not aiming for that. Now, here's the thing, right? They will first give you a holistic mark. So the examiner, not the examiner, the marker will say, all right, I think this letter was excellent. I think it was good. I think it was satisfactory, etc., etc. They would go through the process of first saying that, and then they will try and fix a mark for you. So Shana, I have something I put in place for that. So message me on Instagram or something and we will finish that conversation, right? So watch the mark scale for the letter or the mark scheme for the letter. So look at this, right? After they say, I think this person was excellent, they will say, okay, let me see what is the criteria that CXC gives for excellent, for good, etc. So here it says, ideas are well organized and logically developed, with all points clearly expressed. What this simply means, in short, is that you would have ordered your letter properly. So you see the organization that I taught you all yesterday. You start off with your date, your greeting, introductory paragraph where you inquire about the person's well-being and you make sure and use specific key things there. So that, and stating the reason for writing, then body paragraph 1, 2 points, body paragraph 2, 2 points, and a conclusion. By following that, automatically they consider your letter as being excellent. Because by doing that, you would have organized your ideas and it would have been logically developed, including all the points. So that is why I was so adamant with you all yesterday. I know different teachers might give different opinions, etc. But based on what CXC says, I am telling you all this. Yeah? So following the format would automatically put you in the excellent band. What do they say next? Candidate writes fluently using correct grammar. So you have the correct grammar used, correct tenses, subject-verb agreement, your adjectives and your noun agree, el carro nuevo, el carro rojo, etc. A wide range of idioms, vocabulary, and structures. Shows coherence and clarity of expression with an occasional inaccuracy. I love to highlight this. This simply means that CXC is not looking for a excellent or native speaker competent, but don't say excellent, but somebody with a native speaker level of competence. They are not expecting that from you. So they understand that you will make errors. So you're seeing here, somebody could get between 30 out of 30 to 24 out of 30 and have occasional or very few inaccuracies. So don't beat up yourself on making mistakes so much. What you should be focusing on is being able to communicate what you need to communicate, right? Correctly communicate it. Don't try and nitpick at the mistakes and stuff, but focus on communicating what you want, what you need to in the letter. And look at this, candidate writes fluency using correct grammar, a wide range of idioms, vocabulary, and structures. I didn't explicitly state this yesterday. Let me stop sharing and let me see my full face for this. I didn't explicitly state this yesterday. But those things are we going to see in the letter when I send it to you, all right? Those things are you seeing, you're finding at the beginning of the letter, in the introductory paragraph. Those things are you finding at the end of the letter, in the ending of paragraph, right? Those things include all that I told you all. Specifically referring to the use of idioms, correct grammar, use of structures, etc. So I'm trying to put in a position where automatically you start off there. And then yes, mistakes may come, they may come, but at least you would have had the correct things in place, the most important things. Structure anything the correct way so that they can say that it's properly organized. Having those introductory phrases that incorporate grammatical structures, the subjunctive, use of the object pronoun with conjugated verbs, this sort of stuff. So when you're able to include those stuff, you automatically put yourself in a position to excel, right? And please don't take my word for it. Go and read the CXC syllabus, read the subject reports, and you will see for yourself. You will see what I'm speaking about, right? Let me see if I have any to share with you all so you'll see what I'm talking about real quickly. So this is the specimen, right? These are the no, wrong thing. Okay. Right, so these are the subject reports I was talking about. So you see May, June 2006, and CXC gives comments on how students did. They give sample better responses. They spoke about the things that you need to look out for that give Cognates problems often, that sort of stuff. The stuff there, right? As I say, it's in the public domain. Make use of it. A sample what? Yes, a sample letter is there for you to be uploaded to the Padlet. Let me send this to Angeli. Ay, Dios mío. Persons are quite nervous, so let me do it now. Yes, I'm in the process of doing so. Where was I? Where was I? Um, 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 um. Spare with me one sec. I'm uploading it now. Or sending it to be uploaded. I just need to edit one thing on it. All right, just bear with me the same, moving a little bit slow. All right, nice. So boom, 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 file, save a copy. Csec Spanish 2022. All right, guys. So the thing will be uploaded shortly, right? So look out for it. No, I said I am not the person uploaded. I sent it to somebody that is doing the uploading. So the document, you will find it by or before, within half an hour, it should be there, right? I'm just waiting for her to respond to me, but she's the admin person that will do that for me, right? You should be seeing this. This is what you're looking out for, right? With all this stuff there. The sample letter, etc. Any further questions? The meeting ends now, actually. I'm just making sure everybody is good. So, les deseo mucha suerte mañana en los exámenes a todos ustedes a través del Caribe, through the Caribbean, everybody, right? Owen Mahabir, you are sounding very nervous. I know you cannot see it. I know you cannot see it yet. It will be uploaded shortly, right? Within the half an hour, you're going back on that same link that I just sent. Sorry, I sent it to one person, not everyone. Right? You're going back to that same link that is sent, and you will receive this stuff there, right? So look out for it, guys. Good luck tomorrow. All the best. And feel free to shout me out on social media, etc. message, right? I know this is my first attendance in one of your lives, but forever thankful for the determination you have to educate students like myself, and on behalf of forever, just want to say it's much appreciated. You're most welcome, Aidan. It's our pleasure for me. Yeah? I just enjoyed this the most when I look forward to this each year, to be honest with you. Yeah? So guys, take care. Adios, nos vemos. De nada. No hay de qué. No hay problema. Está bien. And don't forget, follow us, subscribe, like, etc., 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 right? No problem, Owen. Best of luck, man. All right, guys, take care. You see me? All right, guys, take care.